Are you ready?
Another tough one. Come on. Let me guess.
You want to start us off with your thoughts on the match?
Yeah, let's just before we get to that, I want to send wishes to Savannah DeMello and all of Louisville. I saw that she was out of hospital and resting and recuperating. So I want to give love to all of that organisation, Bev and Janine, that we know really well, and obviously Sav and her friends and family. And then also today, the news of Matty Beard and just there's players in both organisations that have played under him. He was such a pioneer for the women's game, and our hearts, everybody involved in NWSL, our organisation especially, want to go out to his family and his kids. And yeah, I think football is bigger than that. Jonas, before the game, Becky, who've worked with him, Jonas has coached against him. We're going to go and have a glass of wine and toast him after the game here with the opposition staff, because I think it affected a lot of people today. And honestly, I think that translated to the game. It was an eerie game. Maybe we were a little nervous. Maybe the early injury to Julie. It took us half an hour to get going. Then we started to put our foot on the ball a little bit more, started to move it and exploit the spaces that we'd targeted in the week. But it just felt a little subdued all around. And we'll go away, look at that. Our events, life affects that. Football occasion, maybe, I'm not sure. But yeah, just didn't feel quite right today. We were subdued, got better, ended the half better, started the second half a little bit uneasy again. The goal, just with the overloads in wide areas, dealt with it, back to goal. We got to get out and squeeze. Max completely blind on the shot. We had so many bodies in there, but we needed to get out and press it and deal with better, because the majority of their other shots or chances were offside. And I was furious that they didn't get called back, because every time it goes and then injuries occur after whistle, we need to sort that out, because I don't know if it needs to be semi-automatic offsides, but when the play goes down and they're getting shots or pressure or things, it just keeps momentum. And we've played offside and we've tracked their runners and done it well. So I wasn't happy with that. But I'll take the positives. Last half hour, we got the pressing better. You could see we started to get some energy in our game. Subs came on, had the desired impact that we wanted. Obviously, we had a change of shape as well and went for it, and then kept that change of shape at the end, because we want to try and, win a game that was really pretty nondescript for chances. I think 6 shots each team today. That's low, very much so for us at home, and the quality of chances, they're in that funk as well with their scoring. So, yeah, didn't think it was a terrific game, but credit to us, credit to the players for coming back and dealing with the injury and everything else that went on to get a point and stay third in the table is the positive that we'll take from it. And yeah, put that one to bed really and go again.
And then right early in, I think around the 13th, Julie goes down with an apparent knee injury. Do you have any update on status or severity there?
No, I do not. Yeah, don't know what to say about that. But I hope, I've been in here how many times this year and talked about it, and we hope for the best for Julie. It reminded me of the Kaya incident, the way we planted and then just got shoved. Big foul. Fair play to them. They were very aggressive, pressing us today, putting us under pressure, very physical. I thought that one was a big foul. And yeah, until we find out more news, and you can imagine if it's knee or whatever, and if there's swelling or scans that are needed, then they'll take place in the next sort of 24 to 48 hours before we get any real information on that.
Kind of on a more positive side, kind of huge game for Mackenzie Arnold tonight. And I know she's been battling through injuries all year, and obviously was pretty close with Matt Beard. Can you kind of just talk about her performance in the context of the game and also in the context of this season for her as a whole?
Yeah, we talked about it before. It's hard for her to settle in last year. And come into new dressing room, a big tag, and during the season, halfway through, it takes time to settle in. But this year she's established herself as a leader of the group, and she was voted a captain by the group, and tells you all you need to know about how the dressing room holds her in high esteem. And then she's got Bella pushing her every day, who is every bit a quality goalkeeper as well. So those two challenge each other to be the best that they can be. And I think you've seen number of saves, Mac, top quality saves in games. We need to do jobs better to stop her having to make the big saves at times. But no, I thought solid again. Use of the ball is very, very good. And the switching a few times we gave her a dodgy back pass today, dealt with it very, very well. So I think she doesn't get the credit even from our fan base. Sometimes after or before the game, I heard some comments that I didn't really like. We need to support these ladies. We need to support every single one of them. And she's one of the most experienced international goalies who is very well respected in the dressing room, brings along the young ones, the social side, the togetherness in the dressing room. A lot of that is created by Mac. And people maybe don't see that on the outside. So I don't know if she gets the credit that she deserves. But yeah, I have nothing but positive things to say about her.
And then you kind of mentioned kind of a rough attacking game for both sides, and that changed when Hina came in and Raylan was able to move up top rather than being more winger and dropping back. I don't know if you see that as like the direct result of that, but I guess I'm wondering if you can talk about that adjustment and kind of what you thought.
There's a change of shape, so we got double width. So then we had Liv and Raylan overloading on one side, Lex and Jesse overloading on the other side. And then, yeah, we know what Hina can do. Look, we've talked about it time and time again. I love Hina when she's on the ball and what she brings and the cleverness of her touches and everything else. And where we've been working with her the last few weeks is just on that defensive balance and the balance in the build. And I saw an improvement in that in the last game, sat down, showed her, this is what we need from you. This is what we want. Because, like, yeah, when she sprinkles her magic, she's magnificent. You won't find a bigger Hina fan than me. But guess what? We've got a stacked midfield. That's a strength. End product in this game is everything, especially if you're an 8 and a 10 and Liv Moultrie and their attacking intent again and the output touches in the box. Most of the best quality chances come from Liv Moultrie. Right. And then you've got to do the other side of the game. And Sam and Jesse, that balance has been good. But I was really pleased with Hina when she came on. And then again, when we isolate Raylan 1v1, we create opportunities and probably should have scored the one that Liv slipped her through. I've talked to her about that opening up right foot Thierry Henry style shot. Didn't quite get a hold of it. But you could see we started to turn the tide and push on and exploit the spaces. The disappointment is that we waited till we conceded a goal to get on the front foot and play like that. But no, really pleased with Hina. I thought Lex did really well when she came on in that sort of hybrid wing back role to give us the opportunities to overload and stretch the opposition and take the game to them. We got our just reward. And like I said, a couple of last final balls here or there, the Raylan chance. We were hoping that as the game went on, we'd have gone on and won it.
And then Rob, you talked about Olivia Moultrie just creating a bunch of these chances. The 2 goals contributions, off the post this game and then the goal last game. She's become quickly one of the best free kick takers in the league. What have you seen from her in training, especially working with Vitas?
Yeah, Vitas likes to do a little bit with her. Before that was Jordan Frankin last year, had set and worked with them. Obviously, we do intentional extras every single day. And part of our IPP process and development of young players is them working on what they want to and what they need to. So it's a two-way process between the technical staff and the players. But yeah, Liv loves her football. She's got a football pitch in her back garden. She probably takes another 30 when she gets home. But the wall and the goalkeepers are a little bit better at Providence Park than they are her little sisters probably. But we've talked about Liv. She gets into good spaces, high slots, 1v1. She was in the first 20, 30 minutes, the only one who was being brave to get on that ball, drive at the opposition. And then it's infectious, right? Then you see Sam Copley stepping up into the slot, and then you add Hina to that mix, and now you've got 2 or 3 pushing on, and we can use Jesse's counter pressing, and we're really trying to get onto the front foot. So, yeah, Janine Becky hit a decent one yesterday, but that might be goal of the week this week. That was a bit of a laser, but yeah, she had the one in the first half, Liv, and this one I was just delighted we followed it in. because Harachik gets down, makes the original save off the crossbar, could bounce anywhere, but credit to Raina who followed in. And I think she said after she was just pleased she didn't miss, because we had one last year in the Champions Cup that did the same thing and we missed a sitter from it. So it wasn't Raina, but no, delighted with Raina to follow it in and get the just reward for the team's effort late on there.
Yeah, and then Rob, you mentioned the team just kind of being in the top few for expected goals, but in the past 6 matches, you all have been out-generated in that time.
Yeah.
What have you seen during that span of games, and where do you want the improvement to come from?
The quality is the same at Chicago last week, right? For the possession and the ability to switch the point of attack, which we have got better at and do very, very well. We need to add that dynamics. And look, it's easy for me to be critical of the players that have come in, but Kaya Hanks, Sophia Wilson, Morgan Weaver, the depth has not been there for us to keep that fresh. And so we keep working with the players, keep trying to improve, find the right balance. Thought Dana, when she came on, looked lively, created a couple opportunities, little slip balls. But they're going to get judged on end product. You've got to put the ball in the back of the net, and our top goal scorer this year has 5 goals. Other teams have 12 and 13. So it's a collective effort. We said at the start of the year and the start of end of preseason, we'll have to do it by committee this year. That's where Liv, Raina popping up, be it JP, whoever, Sam Coffey. Those are the players. We need them adding to the goal scoring threat. Sam, Jessie Heener, her numbers and attacking, assists or goals. If we can add that, because we get into great spaces, we combine well, but we need increased runners, isolation, elimination, players in the box, and we need a little bit of quality in that final third, which has been evading us when we've got into those areas.
Got time for one more.
Another injury question from me. Obviously, we saw Issa go down against Chicago, and she didn't start today. Was that more of a tactical decision? Can you give us any sort of update on her status?
No, look, I think we talked about it in the pre-game in the week. This has been an issue that she's had since she's come to the club. And obviously you come from Europe, you're not playing on turf fields, and we're still going back and forth, Nike, Providence Park, home games here. It's adjustments. There's the orthotics in her boot, changes of boots, all of those things, the resources that the performance staff have tried to look at, the medications to help with just that reaction or inflammation. And then when I spoke to Issa in the week and we had the 3-day build, I'm like, we're going back to turf the day before a game. I can't take a risk to have to play a player and have to make a substitution. Unfortunately, we did tonight because of injury. But I don't want to go into a game questioning a player and having to make a defensive sub after 22 minutes. Because now I only have 2 attacking windows, as you saw, to make substitutions in the second half. Little bit of performance. We need some fresher legs. If we make 1 or 2 subs, we don't all get 5 subs on. So that's the challenge for Issa, is the work that she does, the gym, the work with the medical, the work with the physios, the work with performance staff. We need to feel a consistency, and she has to feel it above all, so that we know if we put her in, or let's say it was a centre back going down today, I need to have full confidence that she can then go through the next 75 minutes. So it's ongoing work. It has been a problematic issue. I'm hoping next year, training facility, all of those things, consistency of surfaces and all the support stuff we're going to get in that building will give the players more opportunities, because we have to have a look at what is going on with our injuries this year and everything else. Because again, we're now down to 22 players for the running. It makes it very, very, challenging. So I need everybody at full tilt as best we can be.
All right, go ahead and conclude it there. Thank you all.